Good morning. Just getting ready for my 9 o'clock mindfulness class. All right, see if I can find my live zone here. All right. All right. Okay, I'm just trying to connect to Redbrook here. Okay. Okay. All right, we are connected. Hi, Nick. Thank you, Redbrook Health and Wellness, for giving me the opportunity to do a class today. So I'm going to wait a little bit before I get started on the actual class. So while I'm waiting for some people to hop on here, I just wanted to talk about a little bit about who I am and what I do. So my name is Kristi Sachs. I'm a mindfulness practitioner. My company is This Is the Only Moment That's Real. And what I focus on is helping people understand their thoughts, their perceptions, and their feelings. And right now, everybody, I've been working with a lot of different people, and I just want to share that everybody's experiencing this differently. So if you're trying to look at your friends and your family and seeing how everybody's kind of handling what's happening right now, please kind of step back from that, because the way that you're going to process what's happening is going to be totally different than somebody else. So if you are in a place now where you're kind of comparing yourself to, these people are dealing with it well, and this person's losing their mind, and you don't really know how to grasp these little things, just be easy on yourself. That's the biggest thing I want to stress today is understanding that everything can be chaotic around us, But if we truly understand how to live in the present moment and we understand our thoughts, our perceptions, and our feelings, we can help ourselves get out of that stress, fight or flight mode that a lot of people are in today. And that's what I want to focus on today. And one of the first concepts that I teach is breathing. It's very important that you're taking the time to breathe. Right now, everything's different. Your whole rhythm of life has been disrupted. Your body is looking for you to get up every morning and go to work and do the things that you've been doing, and you're not doing those things, so it's confused. It's you're getting weird, thoughts are popping in your head, and sometimes you're getting on these trains of thought and you're getting overwhelmed. So take this time now to really work on looking inside yourself. It's like we're given the opportunity to be inside and to really tap into who you are and who you want to be versus what you maybe been doing for the last 10 years that might have not been satisfying for you. So use this time to kind of go into yourself and start asking yourself questions like, who am I and where do I want to be after all of this? And kind of focus on those things, those tiny little things that you can start controlling instead of trying to control what other people are doing, what you're seeing on social media, what you're seeing on the news, and maybe some stuff that you're not agreeing with. Just understand you can't control those things. So if you relinquish that and understand that the only thing you can control right now are your thoughts, your perceptions, and your feelings, then making that shift kind of makes your life a little better because you can disconnect from what's happening outside of you that you really have absolutely no control over. So let's get started. What time is it? 6. So maybe I'll give it 3 more minutes before we start on the class. My concept in life is that this is the only moment that's real, this moment that we're in now. Your future causes anxiety. Your depression is caused by getting stuck in thoughts of the past. And stress is trying to control these two things that don't exist. So what's that mean? That means right now in this present moment is all that exists. When we start thinking about things that you've done in the past, things that you could want to kind of change or you think I should have done a different way, that causes your body to kind of go into depression mode because you can't change those things. And then your body goes through the emotion of you trying to change it and how you would react in a situation or how somebody else would react to how you reacted in the situation. So you kind of get yourself stuck in that concept of trying to change something in the past when in reality it doesn't exist anymore. And then a lot of people I'm starting to see, they're kind of stuck in that future role right now. What's going to happen tomorrow? How am I going to handle tomorrow? Well, right now it's interesting because we really have absolutely no clue what tomorrow is going to hold. So if we backtrack and we center ourselves in this moment and we say to ourselves that tomorrow is going to be a good day and I'm going to look for the things that I can be grateful for, that's going to start switching your perception. So once all of this is done and we're back and we're going to work and we're doing the things that we're used to doing, you've already changed your perception from this negative place to this positive place, this gratitude, this gratefulness. And that's already been proven that once you start clicking into gratefulness and gratitude, everything in your mind starts to shift and you can start looking at the world in a different way. Because remember, your thoughts pop up and you have that thought and then you start seeing what you're thinking, going back on it, thinking of something in the past, thinking of something in the future, your body's actually living it. So that's what I want to kind of focus on today is how can I hit the reset button? How can I calm myself down out of this fight or flight? And how can I look inside of myself and find that peaceful place that most of us need right now? Because all of our boundaries are being hit. And if we're not going back and we're not resetting those boundaries, our body's getting aggravated because it's saying, hey, every morning at this time, we are at work. Why aren't we at work? What's going on? And if we're not sitting with ourselves and saying, look, we're okay right now. We're at home. It's okay for me to sit on the couch and watch TV. It is okay for me to be lazy right now. It is okay for me to have this moment where I can breathe and catch my breath and be in the moment. Those things you have to kind of talk yourself through right now because we're hitting those boundaries that have been set that you don't have time to sit on the couch. You don't have time to relax. You have to go to work. You have to take care of your kids. You have to do this. You have to do that. So it's going back in and telling yourself that it's okay for you to do the things that we have to do now. And what do we have to do now? We have to stay home. How many times in your life did you wake up in the morning as a kid and say, I really don't want to go to school today. Maybe, we'll get called off. Did it snow today? All the times that we said to ourselves, I don't want to go to school today. Well, now nobody's going to school. Or how many times did you wake up and say, I'd really like to stay home today and sleep and rest, just binge out and watch television? Well, here's your opportunity to do it. But the problem is your body and your anxiety is confused and wants you to start moving. So it's important that we step back and we say, okay, it's time for us to rest. So how do we get to that, out of that fight or flight into this present moment? It's all about breathing. That's it. So if you make some changes in your life, set an alarm on your phone or whatever you're doing to kind of keep track of what's happening in your day, at least 3 times a day, set a time just to take a couple deep breaths, bring yourself out of that, what's going to happen down into your body where you can start to relax. And that's the first thing that I want to talk about. So if you're at home and you're watching, the way that I suggest that you kind of do a mindfulness class with me is either on the floor, crisscross applesauce, or in a yoga position, the lotus position, or you're sitting in a chair. What I want is that you're touching the ground either with your feet or your bottom. That's kind of how we're kind of going to ground ourselves in this situation. And what I do is I'm not there with you, but I'm going to hold space for you, which means that I'm going to pay attention to the time. I'm going to pull you out of the meditations. I'm going to walk you into the meditations and pull you out of them. And if you have any questions during the video, just shoot me a text or IM or whatever it's called on here, and I'll be happy to answer any questions. If you're having any thoughts that are popping up constantly and you can't get rid of them and you need help with that, throw a message up here. I'll be happy to talk about that. So we're looking for about an hour class, and there's going to be a couple meditations, 2 meditations. I might throw in another one at the end, depending on if I get any comments or not. And what we're going to focus on right now is breathing. And the breaths that I do, you don't do them yet, are 3 breaths. The first breath, you're going to breathe in through your nose and you're going to blow out through your mouth. The second breath is the same concept. You're going to breathe in through your nose. But the second breath, I want you to concentrate on blowing out everything that you kind of have in your belly, that stale air that's kind of been sitting there. So you're going to take that deep breath and just kind of try to blow out more than you have breathed in. Third breath, take a deep breath in through your nose, then out through your mouth, and then you're going to go into the meditation. So I want to talk to you about the meditation. This is the first thing that I do in pretty much any of my sessions with classes, corporate, or individual. This is a meditation to kind of get your brain, that muscle in our brain that we don't use, most of us don't use at all, is understanding when a thought is presenting itself in our head. Because that's that pause moment where you can kind of decide, do I want to get involved with this thought? Do I want to react to this thought? Or do I want to let this thought go? And that's what this exercise is, this first 5-minute meditation. So what happens is a thought's going to come up in your head. And all I want you to do is just acknowledge it. Say, hi, thought. I see you, thought, and send it away. Now, if you can continue to do that and another thought comes up, send it away. Another thought comes up, send it away. That's fine. If you get to a point where you're not having any thoughts, just focus on your breathing or your heart. And if you just want to kind of zone out during the 5-minute meditation, you do whatever you need to do to makes you feel good. So whatever you're going to do during this time is completely up to you. I do have people that have problems with having the thought come up, how to kind of change to the next thought. So if you're having that problem, the thought comes up and you don't know how to get to another thought, just think of something simple. So a thought pops up, think of the letter A. Another thought pops up, think of the color yellow. Don't do a sequence, do something different, because what I want you to start seeing is that you can change your thought, and that's all this process is. It's a 5-minute meditation where your thought's just going to pop up, send it away, pop up, send it away, and it's just that repetitive motion that I want you to start getting used to, because that's going to help you in getting through a lot of this subconscious stuff that's popping up right now, especially if you're sitting at home and you don't have a lot to do. A lot of stuff's going to pop up that you really don't need to get involved in, but it's going to come up. So how are you going to get rid of it so you don't get stuck on that train? So we're going to start the 5-minute meditation. So if you're comfortable and you feel safe, I would suggest that you close your eyes. So what we're going to do is we're going to either sit down on the ground like I am, get your butt down on the ground, or if you're sitting in a chair, put your feet flat down on the ground so you're kind of grounded and touching the ground. And like I said, if you feel safe, close your eyes. And I would like you to take a deep breath in through your nose and blow out through your mouth. Take another deep breath in through your nose. And this time I want you to blow everything out. Let it all go. Let it all out. Take another deep breath in and blow out. And start the meditation of having a thought pop up and send it away. And I'll come pull you out in about 5 minutes. Before you open your eyes, put a smile on your face and say, I'm calm, I'm happy, and I'm at peace. Take a deep breath in and blow out. Put your hands over your head and stretch, and open your eyes when you're ready. So right now, coming out of this meditation, you're in the present moment. Your mind should be a little bit quieter than it was before. And right now, I just want you to kind of notice that when that thought comes up, there's a pause moment in there. There's a moment where you can decide how you're going to react to that thought. That might be triggered by perception, or it's just a thought that's coming up. That you might have seen on television during the day. Somebody might have said something on Facebook or social media. So when those thoughts come up, remember there's that pause moment. And in the beginning, it goes pretty quick. Now I feel like sometimes my pause moments is like 10 minutes where I can decide how I'm going to react or deal with a situation or even get involved in the situation. So I just want you to pay attention during the week and just notice those moments where you can pause. Because what's going to happen, especially in the environment, if you're in a house with a lot of people, things start to get overwhelmed, emotions start to get high, and there's that moment where someone might do something, which I call a trigger, which makes you like, ugh, that you can kind of take that moment and pause, take a couple breaths, and then decide, am I going to react to this? Am I going to let this person just have their moment? And I'm going to sit back and allow it to happen and not take on the responsibility of fixing the issue? Or do I need to get involved and make something happen here? So it's important to just kind of start paying attention to it. One of the things with mindfulness is, especially in the beginning, is you're just going to pay attention. Because a lot of the stuff I'm going to throw at you, you might not even pick up on, but there might be one thing that resonates with one person. That's why sometimes I throw a lot out, and especially something first and new like this. So just pay attention, bringing yourself back to this present moment. And it's all done by taking a couple breaths, sitting with yourself, and allowing things to go through you. Okay, so when the thought comes up, let it go. There's an emotion attached to it, let it go. Just let it go through you. Okay, and that's that cycle. Now, I would suggest that what we just did is to do that right before you go to bed. I try to tell people if you can take 15 minutes to shut everything down before bed, especially right now, it's important because once again, your routine is totally thrown off. So think about it. Throughout the day, your body is triggered to do different things. It's triggered to wake up. It's triggered to go to the bathroom. It's triggered to eat. It's triggered to get the car. It's triggered to go to work, ... There's triggers all day long that your body meets. Now, right, it's not being triggered by anything, and it's unsure of what's happening. And it can get that uneasy, aggravated feeling that comes up, okay? So just pay attention to that and just be like, I'm okay, talk yourself through it and let it go. What I want to focus on now is understanding how to find a positive feeling inside of you. I know right now there's a lot of negative happening. I know there's a lot of people out there that wake up and there's like this heavy feeling, and it's usually that uncertainty. And right before you go to bed, you're having that heavy feeling and you're not sure what tomorrow's going to bring. Just understand it's your body trying to figure out what is happening right now, okay? And if you're not living in the present moment and you're taking yourself, worrying about the future, you're taking yourself back into the past, your body is just a little bit more overwhelmed because it's confused. It's confused that everything has changed. So that's why it's very important that you be easy on yourself through this process. Wake up in the morning, and if you feel overwhelmed, start a new routine. So usually if you wake up in the morning, the first thing you do is you get up and you grab a cup of coffee because you got to go get dressed and get everybody ready for school. That's not happening right now. So change your routine. This is your opportunity, like I said in the beginning, to kind of sit with yourself and decide, how do you want the next step to be? How do you want to move forward? Because it's not robotic now, because it's all different. So look at what you do in the morning, pay attention to what you do throughout the day. And if you're doing something you're not happy with, that doesn't resonate with you, make that change, do something different. It's okay. This is the time for you to play around with what you like, what you don't like. Pay attention to the things that don't resonate with you and then start making those changes. But understand that you're going to feel uncomfortable and there's going to be some negative thoughts that come up that like you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. Negative thought. Just know that when those negative thoughts come up, you can say to yourself, I don't need to get involved in this because I am not this. I am not, irritated. I'm not angry. I just have to bring myself back to the present moment and make sense of what's happening in the present moment so my body gets it and then I can move forward. But the main thing is your internal conversation is highly important right now, because if you're living and making things up in your head about future events that could happen, or just the fact that you got to wake up tomorrow and you got a house full of kids and you have to now be a teacher and you have to go to work and then you have to feed them and then you have to clean and then 3 meals a day and all of those wonderful things, your whole self can be overwhelmed by that. So when you wake up in the morning, prepare yourself for what's going to happen, but be easy on yourself. So if you make a mistake or everything gets out of control or, people are aggravated and you're feeling aggravated, just go back to that pause moment, take those breaths and pull yourself back to a place of peace. So that's what I want to talk about now. When is the last time you felt peaceful, content, happy? When I work with emotions, I know that my emotion of peace is not your emotion of peaceful feeling. My emotion of happy is not the same as your emotion of happy. Okay, so it's important for you to name the emotion the way that you want to name it. I'm going to throw some suggestions out there, but it's completely up to you how you're going to name this emotion. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to talk you through some information. I'm going to put you in a meditation. And what we're going to do is we're going to try to find that pleasant feeling, whatever that pleasant feeling is. We're going to figure out where it resonates inside of you. And we're going to work on allowing it to resonate all over you. So when you're in that negative place, you can flip the script, I call it. So when you have that negative emotion that's coming up, you can pause and say, wait a minute, I don't want to be irritated and frustrated right now. I want to feel calm. And by just saying the word calm, it helps you calm down because you're going to attach that word to that train of thought so you can bring it in when you start feeling overwhelmed. Like if you're watching something on television and your body's getting overwhelmed, you can say, wait a minute, what are the thoughts that I'm having? I'm going to send that away and I want to feel calm. So I'm going to bring that calm feeling back to me. But right now, it may be a little difficult for people to find calm. What does calm feel like? Where is it? When's the last time I felt calm? Or whatever the word is that you want to bring to the table. Happiness, contentment, peace, gratitude, whatever those happy feelings are. So what I want to do right now is I want to kind of prepare you for what we're about to do in the meditation. Now, this meditation is going to be about 10 minutes. I know it's a little weird to do meditations on this, but the 10-minute meditation is for you to really kind of get yourself in a place where you can let go of the thoughts and find that happy place. And if it takes you to like the beach, I know when I started doing this, I had a lot of hate and hate was consuming me. So I had to flip the script and my flip the script was love, which was difficult because I had to figure out what love felt like and then go through that process. So I'm going to do a little quick with you just so you can get some ideas so you can practice it throughout the week. Now understand, if anything comes up during any of this that makes you uncomfortable, you can always pull yourself out of the meditation. You don't have to wait for me to pull you out of the meditation. If something comes up and you're upset about it and it's kind of triggering you, just contact me. I'm happy to walk you through whatever should pop up. I know that when you're doing this and if you're home alone and you don't have anyone to talk to, your mind is going to race. And if you really don't know how to hit that reset button, it can take you to some exciting, fun places and some scary places. So that's why it's important that if you don't have someone you can reach out to, I'm here. That's what I'm doing. That's my job right now. All of my stuff is donation based. And if you need me, call me. If you need me, text me. I had people this morning, the theme of the day today was people can't sleep. I've had 4 or 5 people IM me this morning talking about the fact that they can't figure out how to get back into a pattern to go to sleep. So like I said before, I totally just told them change their whole pattern. If you usually do A, B, and C to go to sleep, make a new routine, because like I said, your body is just so confused. It doesn't even know what is happening throughout the day because you've been inside all day. So you haven't made any scene changes to kind of trigger it to figure out that it's time to go to bed because you might have been sitting in the same area for 5 hours today. So let me go back to the meditation. So what I'm going to do, and in this meditation, if you want to lay down, that's fine. If you want to get comfortable, that's fine. Whatever you want to do. If you're cold, put a blanket over you. It's a 10-minute meditation. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start you off with the breathing. I'm going to get you into a place where you can start building or looking for that feeling. If it hits you pretty quick, like, oh, I like this feeling. This is a feeling that I like. Then you can kind of follow that train of thought and see where it takes you. And figure out like where it resonates on your body. Because I know that most people are like, what are you talking about? So with me, when I was doing this hate, my whole body just resonated hate constantly. It was like my shield to just hate and everything and everybody. So when I had to switch it, I had to figure out like what does love feel like, and it kind of was more in my back where it kind of started, and then I learned how to kind of resonate it through my entire body. So that's what I want you to do. I want you to get into this nice, comfortable position. I'm going to start you with the breaths, get you into the meditation, and through the meditation, I might pop in and say a couple things to kind of guide you. If you feel like you've gotten off and you've gone to a bad place, just use the first meditation. Just send that away, recenter yourself by taking a couple breaths, and focus on something that makes you feel good. Like I love the beach. So if I'm in a bad place and I'm usually freezing all the time and I'm cold, I can sometimes picture myself sitting on the beach and allowing the sun hit me, and I can resonate like what it would feel like to have the heat, and it kind of warms me up. So it's the same kind of concept. What makes you feel content, grateful, at peace, happy, whatever those words are, find that place, and I want you to go there, and I want you to kind of just sit there and feel what it feels like to have that contentment. Feel what it feels like to feel peaceful. Just feel that. That thought comes up that tries to pull you out of it, send it away. Go back to that place. I just want you to focus on this feeling, because in the end, I'm going to show you how you can bring it back to you all day long throughout the day. So, when that bad thing might happen, or somebody's aggravating you, or you're stuck on a train and you can't get off of it, you can take those breaths, pull yourself back in the center, and then resonate that nice feeling again. So you can use that from, when you wake up in the morning to you go to bed at night. All right, so let's get ourselves comfortable. And once again, you might get a little cold while doing this. So if you want to grab a blanket, grab a blanket. And this is going to be a 10-minute meditation. And once again, I have the clock. I'll be watching the time. And like I said, if you want to lay down, that's fine. Whatever you want to do. Okay, so we're going to start with the 3 breaths. The second breath, remember, you're going to take that deep breath in, and then that second breath, you're going to blow everything out. All that stale air, that negative energy, you're just going to blow it all out. You're going to take the third breath, breathe in, and blow out. And I want you to go find that place of contentment, peace, happiness, gratefulness, whatever word that you're using, and go in there, and I want you to sit in that, and I just want you to feel it. And once again, any of that negativity starts flying up, I want you to just pause, send it away. Pause, send it away. Now, what's going to happen is you might have something that pops up that you think is important and you need to write it down, because that happens to me a lot. It's okay, send it away. It's going to come back. Believe me, these thoughts always will come back. Some of the stuff you'll get rid of that you don't need anymore. It'll be easier to let go throughout the day. But right now, I just want you to really focus on staying in that place. And if something pulls you away like a noise, look at the noise. Is everything okay? Bring yourself back. If you can't get yourself back, take those breaths again, and that'll bring you back into that centered place, and then you can move forward in finding that feeling. All right, so we're going to do a 10-minute meditation. So if you feel comfortable, close your eyes. You're going to take a deep breath in through your nose, and you're going to blow out through your mouth. You're going to take another deep breath in through your nose. And this time, I just want you to blow everything out. Let it all go. Push that stomach in. Get it all out. Take another deep breath in and blow out. Put a smile on your face and go into the meditation. Now, if you found that happy place, I want you to take a deep breath in and blow out. And I want you to start feeling it at the bottom of your feet. Kind of wiggle your toes. Feel that feeling come up your ankles, up your legs, to your knees. If you can kind of flex and let go. Feel that word, happiness, contentment, whatever it is. Feel it all the way from the bottom of your feet up to your knees. Take a deep breath in and blow out. Now I want you to feel that feeling from your knees all the way up to your lower back. I want you to kind of flex those muscles in those areas, your thighs, your buttocks. Squeeze and relax and just allow that feeling of contentment and peace to kind of take over your whole lower body. Now focus on your lower backs where a lot of people store a lot of energy, past events, or just have pain there. Just focus on that happy, content feeling going into your back and relaxing it. And if you can kind of squeeze it and release it, that's fine. If not, just allow it to go through you. And then kind of feel it go right up your spine to the middle of your back. Take a deep breath in and blow out. And just sit with that right now. Feel how your body feels right now. Relaxed, peaceful. Now put a smile on your face. I want you to notice that energy go into the back of your neck. It's another area where we hold a lot of stuff. If you need to wiggle or flex that area, go ahead, do that. Take a deep breath in and feel all that happiness and peacefulness go up into that area and blow out. Now, if any thoughts are coming up that are negative, just use it, send it away. You don't want that right now. We're practicing it on this good feeling. Now I want you to feel that feeling from the bottom of your feet all the way up to the back of your neck. And just sit in that for a while. Relax in it. Now I want you to feel that feeling from the back of your neck all the way up to the top of your head. Just feel all that energy, the feeling, all of that go all the way up and go out the top of your head. Does it feel warm? Does it feel cold? Does it have any feeling? Is there any color associated with it? Just feel that resonate through your entire body and start thinking of that word. My favorite word is contentment. I'm content. Feel it all the way through your body. Now I want you to feel it from the top of your head to the tip of your nose. I want you to wiggle your face. Never do that? Wiggle it out. Feel that positive energy, that word go all the way into your face, down your chin, into your throat area. Take a deep breath in and blow out. Now I want you to take that feeling and I want you to pull it down to the center, right above your belly button. Just feel all that area, your chest, muscles, everything just relax. This might be a good place to take a deep breath and blow out as well. Let everything go and fill up that area with that feeling, whatever that feeling is. Now I want you to take that feeling from the right above your belly button, and I want you to think right at the tip of your spine. Just want you to feel it go all the way down to the tip of your spine. And in that, I want you to take a really big, deep breath in through your nose. And this time I want you to, again, blow everything out. Blow it all out. And I want you for this moment, just feel what it feels like, whatever this word is. I'm going to use contentment, how it resonates through your entire body and how your entire body feels relaxed, content, peaceful, happy, whatever the word is, and sit with that. Now I want you to put a smile on your face, and I want you to say this word. Whenever you name this feeling, I want you to name it. So I would say, I feel content. This is what content feels like to me. I want you to notice your body. This is what it feels like, relaxed, safe. Allow that to resonate through your body again. And I want you to say the name again of the word. And I want you to take a deep breath in. And I want you to blow out. And I want you to start kind of opening your eyes. Keep a smile on your face. And I want you to notice the things around you. Whatever's around you. I have the computer. And I just want you to start thinking, I'm grateful for these little things. Keep that smile on your face. Notice the little things. I'm grateful for my computer. Grateful for the mat on the floor. Grateful for an opportunity to find rest and peace. And just kind of stay on that grateful train right now. Find little things to pay attention to. And if your thoughts are starting to pull you out of this present moment, use that pause moment, send it away, and come back into the moment. And I'm going to give you 2 minutes just to sit in this feeling, sit in the gratitude, and I'll come and get you in 2 minutes. If you start to get lost, just put that smile back on your face and take a breath. That's going to help you pull back into that feeling. Now I want you to take another deep breath in and blow out. I want you to name the feeling again, whatever word that you're using. And I want you to say that I am content. I am, say the word again. And one more time. I am, say the word again. Take another deep breath in and blow out. Put your hands over your head and stretch. And that's the end of that meditation. Now, I want you to understand that's a kind of weird sometimes when we find these happy feelings, that the next reaction comes in and it makes you feel upset or you want to cry. You have to understand right now, everybody is filled to the rim with a bunch of emotions, and a lot of us don't know how to process those emotions. So if you're doing this and you feel like you need to cry, it's okay for you to cry. If you need to find different places in the house to cry, that's fine. Find your safe place. I do recommend, if you are in a house full of people, that you spend at least a half an hour to an hour where you separate yourselves from each other, because you have to understand, you guys are just moving this raw, sometimes nasty energy through each other all day long, because that's all that's happening. So it's important that if you are in a house and you guys are in close proximities, just to take a half an hour to an hour, send everybody to their rooms where they can sleep, paint, whatever, watch TV. Just give yourself that space of separation. So that way, if there is emotions that are coming up, they have a safe place and you have a safe place where you can go and process those things. So keep that in mind. And also keep in mind that mindfulness it's easy, but it's not easy. It's understanding your thought process is the first thing that I want to stress. If you start just grasping what you're saying to yourself, okay? If you're saying negative things to yourself, take that moment and pause, and then come back to yourself and say to yourself, I am okay, okay? I am okay. I don't need to say those things. I don't need to be mean to myself, okay? It's important to have that inner conversation. And right now, because we're at home, we have this opportunity to really start reinventing who we are. One of the things that I talk about is, who are you? Ask yourself, write down, okay? Have that inner conversation with yourself about who you were yesterday, who you are today. And if you want to make changes in your life, this is the perfect opportunity to do that. But the process can be a lot. So if you need someone to talk to, I am here. Please call me. Go on my Facebook, website, click the free 20-minute consultation, set up an appointment. I call it vomiting sessions. You can come and vomit. It's important that you understand that if you're in a house and you are the solid person in the house that everybody's coming to let go of their negative or positive information, and you're taking that all on, if you don't have a place to get rid of it, you're going to carry that through this whole process. And if we're in the house for another week or 2 weeks or whoever knows, you have to understand that you got to dump that stuff. And if you don't know how to dump it, it's just going to stay on you. And that's when we get into that zone where you get that quick irritation, frustration, and you're lashing out on people because you just can't carry it anymore. And to tell someone, I can't listen to you because you're driving me crazy, is not what you're going to say. Your body's just going to take over and say, we can't handle any more of this stuff, so you people need to get away from me. So it's important, if you are the person in the house that is handling the phone calls of all of your friends and neighbors, if you're the person who is taking care of the kids and you don't really have somebody that you can dump on me. I'm okay with it. I know how to process it. I know how to get rid of it. And I want it. I want you to call me and give it to me. Send me an email, write something on Facebook, whatever you have that you need to get rid of, I'll take it from you. I did a meditation on Facebook a couple days ago about how to kind of focus on sending out that negative stuff. But today I wanted to focus on finding that happy feeling. So now that you have that happy feeling, whatever you named it, and if you want, you can put up here what you guys named it, any ideas that you might have to help me teach this better to other people. That's how I learn, is through you guys. But I want you to take this feeling and I want you to play with it for the next week. Hopefully I can do this again next week, is just sit there and notice, like, hey, I want to feel content. So I'm going to see if I can pull that out and sit there and play that game and be like, oh, I can feel it. And then sit in it, enjoy it. And then when it goes away and something happens and you get triggered and that negativity comes up, that inner conversation might hit, somebody outside of you might be driving you nuts, or just the situation that you're in is not something that you want to be in and you're getting that uncomfortable feeling, just do that pause moment, okay? Pause, take that breath and say that word. And what you're going to do is you're just going to start pulling it back and saying, okay, I feel good right now. I'm okay. I'm okay. And understand that if you are stuck in a really bad place, I do a lot of work with PTSD. People that have PTSD, reach out to, anybody that you know is home alone. Reach out to anybody that you know may be elderly and they don't have family in the area. I know that we can't go and be with them, but you got a neighbor, knock on the door and just hold up a thing and say, hey, this is my phone number, call me, let's have a conversation. So get off the social media, set boundaries for yourself right now. Set the boundary for how many hours of news you can watch. Do not watch news before you go to bed. That it might be a pattern that you had when you were going to work and getting out of the house every day. You watched news and you went to bed, but you have to understand you're not exhausting yourself in the same way. And once again, you're not hitting those triggers. So for you to watch the news before you go to bed and you're not exhausted, your brain's just going to go boop, boop, boop all night long. So it's important to separate yourself from the old boundaries. Look at those boundaries, what's not working for you right now, and then reset the new boundaries. It's okay for you to do that, because what's going to happen when we all start to have to go back outside, and this is what happened to me. I got stuck in the house and then I couldn't go back out there. So that's something that once we start seeing the end of this, is that we need to set new boundaries of being okay with you opening the door, going outside, and being around people again, because that can be overwhelming when you're not around people as much. But we're not there yet. So let's just focus on right now, is that it is okay for you to reset boundaries and make new boundaries. And some of the new boundaries that I would say to start looking at is that half an hour to hour isolation from everyone. Just send everybody to their room. I mean, whatever, if you got a big house, wherever you can send them, and kind of, if you want to switch it up, say, everybody move every 15 minutes or whatever. But the point is, get away from each other. So you're in a safe place. So if you feel like you're overwhelmed and you can cry, and nobody's going to walk in on you. Give your kids that space to go take a nap and chill out, or disconnect from social media and read a book. This is the beauty of this. You can create your life now the way that you want to create it. Instead of being told you got to get up at 9 o'clock, you got to get dressed, and we got to go to school. This is the time to sit down and reconnect with your family. I know that throughout somewhere in you, you would say to yourself, I wish I was home with my family. I wish I was home with my family. Well, your wish has been granted. You're home with your family. So if you're going to constantly look at the negative stuff that is happening, you're going to stay in the negative. And that's that pause moment. When you start feeling that negativity and you start getting aggravated, that's where you're going to pull back. You're going to pause. You're going to take those breaths. And then you're going to pull in that happy feeling. And guess what? If your kids aren't watching this, you can teach your kids this. I do a lot of family stuff. And the beginning of just having this conversation with them and opening up the communication of talking about feelings is huge, especially for teens, because they're just starting to feel for themselves and starting to name these feelings. So them watching you get out of that negative and switch into that positive, that's going to teach them to be able to do that when everything kind of gets back to normal. So tap back into the family life, cook, play, clean, be happy. But like I said, just set new boundaries for yourself. How many hours of television can you handle? How many hours of the news can you handle? How much social media can you handle? Reach out to people, but don't reach out to them on, just through texting and IMing. Have a communication face to face. I think Zoom's allowing you to connect with everybody. Connect with people that you haven't seen in years. do that reconnection. Change the way that you perceived life for the last, I don't know, 10, 15 years, which was the monotony of the Groundhog's Day. Because guess what? That monotony doesn't exist anymore. And this is all new territory. So if you have a blank canvas, this is your chance to draw and make the painting that you've always wanted to make, because this is the opportunity that we have nothing else to do but go inside of ourselves, rebuild ourselves, and start living the lives that we want to live versus the lives we were told to live. My name is Kristi. I'm so grateful that everybody came on, and if you have any questions, please, use I think it's I don't know, on here. Hopefully, Red Brook Health and Wellness will invite me to do something next week. I do recommend that if you'd like me to do something different, or you want me to focus on something, I'll be posting stuff on my Facebook page. So if you're not my friend, you can friend me. Just little snippets about triggers, different, the pause, breaths, inner conversation, those little things. So I'll be throwing information out there. But the main thing that I want to say to you is that I am here for you. This is what I feel like my gift is. I am able to listen to people, and I'm not here to judge you. I'm not here to put you in the box. I hold space for you so you can say what you need to say, verbalize it, get rid of it, and then come back to yourself and say, hey, I kind of figured something out. And that's all I want to do for you now, is I want to be that safe place where you can let go of everything that's bothering you so you can hit that reset button, start breathing, and start moving forward in the way that you want to move forward. So once again, I'm grateful. If you need me, I'm here. Otherwise, make a beautiful day.